Start the broadcast. Okay, so well, thank you guys for coming. Those of you who can make it, I know we have the golf tournament today, so that slowed stuff down a little bit. What I'm talking about today is just kind of the basics for applying for the fall 2016 scholarship application. Now, the deadline for this is December 1st. However, the school deadline is going to be November 15th. The reason for this is we need to be able to review applications, and the school actually nominates the two All-Alabama academic team members. Now, according to the rules, since we have two campuses, and I think this applies for those watching online, we can have two nominees from Bruton, we have two nominees from Atmore. So if you primarily go to the Atmore campus, you need to mark that on your application. Okay, so let me, well, before I go to the screen share, I just want to say I handed you guys out some sample applications. I'm going to scan those. I got to blank out the name before I make them public. I'm going to scan those and put them as a link on this video so you guys will be able to see what a good application looks like. Also, PhiThetaKappa.org has good samples at MyPTK, which is where we're going to go now. So let me go ahead and screen share. And this is where we're going to start. And this is my.ptk.org. And consequently, if you're working on the college project or the Honors in Action, this is where you'll be as well. But we have the 2016-2017 fall scholarship application, which is primarily for PTK members, but the Obendorf is for non-members, prospective members as well. Excuse me. But another couple things that I want to point out here is we have the presentations. Granted, it's from a couple years ago, but the application hasn't changed appreciably on kind of stuff that I'm going over, step-by-step process for applying for the application, which is a good indication of how you should put together your application. So we're going to start at the beginning. Scholarships you can apply for. Now these are for Phi Theta Kappa members only, but there's the All-USA Community College Academic Team. If you get nominated from JD, from either campus, you will be the nominee for the All-Alabama Academic Team. But then your application goes to the All-USA Academic Team, and for that there's 10 scholarships of $7,500 each, and commemorative medallions if the bling is really what's going to make you spend hours on an application, so be it. There's also the Coca-Cola scholarships. There's 50 gold scholars awards, 1,500 each. Silver is 1,200, bronze is 1,000. So they're giving away almost $200,000. The New Century Scholars, they're giving away 52 scholarships for a total of $100,000. Those are Phi Theta Kappa sponsored scholarships. But the cool thing about this is you use the same application for all of them. So you only have to fill out that part once for the fall scholarship application. Some of the other scholarships, get this moved. There's also the Heights Scholarship, another $7,500 scholarship. The Geisweit Scholars, which is $5,000, and a couple of Geico scholarships, and these are only for bachelor's degrees. And let's see, they are somewhat limited, but not. They cover most undergraduate, bachelor's degrees. So these are transfer scholarships. Okay, so to the application to begin with. If you go to myptk.org, you can, if you're already a PTK member, you just put in your PTK login. If you're not a member, you go to ptk.org, and you should find the link that says the 2016-2017 Fall Scholarship Application, and then you follow the instructions for non-members to sign in. The reason I'm pointing this out is the first thing it's going to give you is, in some advisor minds slightly different, it's going to allow you to take what's called an eligibility quiz. And the eligibility quiz, you're going to put in your basic academic information, and it's going to let you know what scholarships you're eligible for. And this is an important step because you do have to spend some time on this application, especially to produce a good one. And you don't want to waste your time, you know, if at all possible. Okay. After you do the eligibility quiz, it'll send you an email with the scholarships you are eligible for. Okay, so let's get to the application itself. 2016-2017 Fall Scholarship Application. Just click on the application here at the bottom of the screen. And it'll tell you what you've completed and what you haven't completed. The cool thing about this is you don't have to sit down and do it in one shot. You can fill out some of it, come back to it, and go from there. Now, some things you are going to have to wait on, you know, for example, like the leadership requests and things like that. But the first section of questions is basically eligibility. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you a community college member? Are you a Phi Theta Kappa member? Good standing, all that sort of stuff. Sorry, man, getting a frog in my throat. How many semester hours have you completed? And let's see, move to the next tab. If it'll let me, okay. More basic questions on the second page. As you notice, there's quite a few of them. This is basically to kind of weed out. I think it's to weed out non-serious people, so they can limit the number of applications they get. They purposely make the application process a little, not super difficult, but a little difficult to make sure that they're starting with the best students. And then they go from there and try to select the best applicants. Okay, why won't it let me? I'm going to go to the next page. Okay, well, it's not going to let me do it as an advisor. I'll just submit it. It's going to turn out I'm eligible for nothing. Okay. My apologies. Here we go. All right, so basic information after you've done the eligibility quiz, citizenship status, and so on. Now we get to the actual questions that are going to be determining how well you do. These are called assessments. Let me make sure that I am in the right place. Okay. What are the basic things you should keep in mind when you're writing these assessments? One, you got to be concise. 150 words is not a lot of space to work with. And you know, you can't go over the word count. That's kind of a big no-no with these applications. But for example, this first one you have here, why did you choose to attend community college? Type your answer in the text box below using 150 words or less. The primary reason a lot of students come to a community college is because it's affordable and it has small class sizes. And those are the big reasons that a lot of people put. What you need to do is tell your story in such a way that that sounds unique, or to try and come up with a unique reason for why you came to a community college. So even if it is in essence small class size and it's affordable, write something that's going to make you stand out. Whether it's, say a connection to your parents, maybe you have a job that you like, some sense of community that you're not ready to leave yet, something that really makes your application stand out. What would it mean to you if you received a Phi Theta Kappa scholarship? Again, tell your story. If getting scholarship help is really going to be the only way that you can attend a four-year school, because say you're on scholarship now, work that into your story. I'm also going to post some examples of what these things can and should look like. Then we get into basic stuff about your community college experience. What's your major, if you have one? I would put for your current major, even if you aren't positive, whatever you're considering at the moment. Something specific rather than like general studies is going to probably get a better reaction from the panel. Okay, moving on. When do you expect to transfer? What do you want to get? Now, once we get to awards, notice it only gives you 3. What this does is it kind of levels the playing field. But what you should also notice is it gives you 250 words to explain the award. So, they still have junior miss, or is that called something else now? Well, say you receive some sort of community outreach award. What you wouldn't want to do is say, community outreach award, date received, and write, this award was given to people who worked the most with the community at my high school. Yes, that explains the award, but it would be much better to say, as part of the process for this award, I worked with Habitat for Humanity. We built 7 houses. These are the people that I worked with and made connections with. Explain as much about the award as you can to make it sound as good as possible. Okay, how did you hear about this? What they do is they kind of mundane. Okay, here's an essay that we're going to judge the entire thing on. Mundane, and they continue. Campus activities. Since you are limited here, ones, but also try to have a little bit of variety as well. So, you're lucky that you have Phi Theta Kappa and softball. That kind of mixture of athletics and academics is the kind of mix they might be looking for. But that's not to say that, say, SGA and honors and Phi Theta Kappa, since you have 250 words to explain them, you couldn't write those explanations in such a way that they look drastically different. So even though you may have gone to, say, 5 events or 4 out of 5 events, both honors and Phi Theta Kappa were there, if you're participating in them, kind of pick and choose the ones that you talk about. So we did the chili cook-off with the Honors College. Yes, Phi Theta Kappa was there too, but you talk about, say, maybe a bake sale when we raised money last year for the Oregon school shootings with Phi Theta Kappa. Yes, those are almost all honors members, but you pick and choose the stuff to make them look distinct and separate from one another. Do you guys have any questions so far? I'm sorry I haven't been asking. Okay. Community activities are very similar in that you want to make sure that you do show a little bit of variety. So your community activities may have all been, say, through your church, but say one was one that your church sponsored and one your church participated in. Focus more on, let's say the one that your church participated in, focus more of your explanation on what you did and why you were there and things like that. Whereas with the first one, you can say, help develop our plan for our church or whatever it was. So even though it's basically from the same entity, you're creating distinctions between the things that you're discussing. Questions?
Why does it say like hours per week when, I mean, normally around here we do a specific event?
And in case you couldn't hear that, the question was, why does it say hours a week when oftentimes you do a specific event? This is one of those things where I think they're trying to see if people volunteer weekly at like a soup kitchen or something like that to allow those people to mark that. But for example, the dates participated, if you only have one date participated and not a date range, and if you don't remember the exact date, just give an approximate. But you were there for 12 hours that day, then just put 12 hours per week, because they'll see that you only participated. That'll signal to them that it was a single day. Good question. Anything else? Okay. Outside obligations, and I think this is really where, I think in a large part that this application separates itself from other applications or other, I guess, four-year school scholarships that you would get right out of high school. Because we have a diverse student population in the community college, a lot of people have work and family and other things that are going on. So, outside obligations, think of stuff that you have to do that takes away from your study time. So even if it's working, if you only work, say, 4 or 5 hours a week, I would still discuss that. If you have to watch or help out with your family watching other kids, I would discuss that. Work, of course, and especially if your work is related to the field that you want to go into. Say you work as a receptionist at a doctor's office and you're interested in becoming a doctor or a nurse eventually, then I would definitely put that work obligation and put in your explanation, I sought out this job because it's in my field and I want to learn more about as much as I can before I get my degree. But like I said, think of this as anything that takes a significant amount away from your studies.
So would softball count as?
Absolutely. Because, and part of what you can make them understand there is, while yes, you can do work on the bus, there's physical and mental issues or drains, I guess, from being a student athlete. And yes, most student athletes at this school have financial help, but just because you may not have to work doesn't mean you have a job. Don't have a job. Does that make sense? So yeah, athletics definitely count for this. Good. All right. This is transcript stuff. Special circumstances. Now, this is where I've seen people. Let me back up. The applications, especially for the people that are reviewing them, we try to take the names out for the committee so we don't have any biases. But sometimes you can tell by, because you know the student well enough, what's going on. And I've actually had students who I knew had like rather drastic, like substance abuse in the family, or sick grandparents, or they were a caretaker for somebody. People who had a serious special circumstance. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. Had a serious special circumstance that really didn't point that out on their application. Well, the committee doesn't know you have that special circumstance unless you tell them that you do. So this isn't the time or the place to be, humble. And what I would do, especially since I would like the application deadline is the 15th for the school, write something here. Even if it seems like a bit of a stretch, write something here, because we can always, in the review process, take it out. But we can't take it out if you don't have it there to begin with. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, this is the big essay portion. The other ones you're kind of explaining and just making sure that the judges have a picture of you, that you start to become a person rather than words on a page. This is the big essay in which they judge this. And for those of you who are listening and for those of you who are in the room, this is the part where you need to put in your maximum effort in terms of making it really sharp. A significant endeavor essay. Describe your most significant endeavor since attending community college in which you applied your academic or intellectual skills through your community college education to benefit your school, community, or society. So it's a pretty open question, but it needs to be something where you can hit all these things. And really what I would do, if as you're prepping for this, is I would type out all these sentences and separate each sentence. So you can kind of use them as bullet points. Well, am I doing a good job on this? Am I doing a good job on this? And also, this is another reason why I want you to turn on the 15th, because as an English instructor, I can look at it and sharpen it up. Since you're limited to 500 words, if you're, say, using too many adjectives or something that's adding to the word count unnecessarily, we can cut some of that stuff down and really make the essay be sharp. Because assuming that we have more than 2 applicants from each campus here at JD, the first order of business is getting a nomination from your school. Now, once you apply to these, though, you don't have to be the school's nominee to win, for example, the Geico Scholarship. It's the one that's nominated is the All Alabama, which goes to the All USA. Does that make sense? Okay, and like into it, the discussion questions here. Aspirations. What are your goals? The best advice I can give here is tell a story, but have a plan. Have a plan moving forward. This is what I would like to do, and this is how I plan on getting there. Okay? Answer those 2 questions. This is what I'd like to do. This is how I plan on getting there. Academic and leadership ability. Now, you 2 have both shown initiative in PTK as officers, which is a good start. But you might have someplace else where you're a camp counselor, you're a captain of a sports team, you're, say, a youth leader in a church, something along those lines where you're clearly demonstrating not only the initiative to take on leadership roles, but the ability as well. And 250 words is pretty short. So when you're writing all of these, it's okay to go over on your rough draft. Write your thoughts down first and then figure out places where you can cut. Okay, it's going to ask you about Phi Theta Kappa activities, which this is due in December. We are planning on doing a college project roundtable December 7th, probably an honors in action roundtable in mid-November. So we've got a few things that are coming up that you can put on there. Just make sure you go to them if you put them on your application. But there's also been other things, you know, the conventions and charity events that we've done. Even the work days help out because you're helping toward the goal of finishing that honors and action project. Questions? Okie dokie. Okay, most impact with Phi Theta Kappa. This is another one for the honors students, that if we did an event when we were both there, you really participate more with honors than with PTK, but as long as PTK is there, I don't mind you talking about that event. For those of you who are officers, on the next question, list the position or title for your leadership team, say member of the officer team, because that's the way we've chosen to put it together. Are you a regional officer? We might have one, but that's in the spring. And then advisor verification, just put my information in here, of course, so I can verify that you're a member in good standing and all that. Okay. This is just the next phase of the scholarship. And again, the waivers, the legal stuff. If you don't give me this scholarship, I'm not going to sue you, that type of thing. That's the scholarship in a nutshell. Like I said, I'm going to send out some stuff regarding some example applications for students to take a look at. Also, PhiThetaKappa.org has a few examples of winning applications. And of course, if you have any questions on that, please let me know on any of the scholarships or anything like that. But what I would do for right now, those of you listening, those in the room, as soon as you can, as soon as it's convenient after you watch this video, I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share. As soon as you can after this video, my advice is to, while it's fresh in your mind, go ahead and at least go through the application. You don't have to finish it. If you want to take the eligibility quiz, that's going to take 5 minutes because they're all drop-down menu things. And then just kind of go through the application, familiarize yourself with it. The more you know about it, it's the less intimidating it will be. And then if you have questions about, hey, is this working, or if you want to send me one of your sections, whether it's special circumstances or anything like that, I'd be happy to look over it. Now, depending on the day, it may take me a day or two to get it back to you. But if you start now, you should have no problem getting everything completed by the 15th. All right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video.